Hello everyone, welcome to episode 4 of Euchre 101. In this episode, I will show you different ways to keep score and how to keep score for a regular game or bid euchre. I will also talk about how to play when your team is behind. I hope you have taken the lessons I have given so far and put them to use. One thing I have neglected to talk about is how to keep score. You've been playing the game and you have no idea which team is winning. Here I will show you different ways to keep score and how to put these ways into practice. The different ways to keep score are as follows. You can go the simple route and use the 6s and 4s from the card deck. One team uses red cards and the other team uses black cards. You can use the same suits, like the 6 and 4 of hearts, or you can have one card from each red suit, like the 6 of hearts and the 4 of diamonds. If you want to take the fancy route, you can buy some euchre scoring markers from eBay, Etsy, or Amazon and keep score using those. Most marker sets come with 2 score markers and a dice to use to identify what the trump suit is for the hand. Using these markers are self-explanatory, so I won't waste your time showing you how to use them. Keeping score using the 6s and 4s is simple. I'm showing you now how you indicate every point total from 0 to 9. There's no need to show you what 10 points looks like because once you reach 10, the game is over. Showing your opponents a score of 10 is just rubbing it in. Keeping score when playing bid euchre requires only a pen and notebook paper. One note though, I watched episode 2 where I explained how to play bid euchre, and I realized, oh snap, I never said how many points you need to win. I'll tell you that now, you need 52 points to win a bid euchre game. Here's a piece of notebook paper that is ready to score a game of bid euchre. The scorekeeper simply writes us and them at the top. The letters down the left side of the paper indicate the order for the dealing. Simply use the first letter of each player's name. If you happen to be playing with 2 people with the same first letter, just use the first 2 letters to differentiate between the 2. Now I'm showing you a score sheet for bid euchre that has 2 complete games on the sheet. If you're good at math, you can just add the points in your head that each team scores and write the total score for each team on the next line. Now that you know how to keep score, it's time to give you some tips on how to play when your team is behind. Let's say you're playing a regular game where your opponents are leading 7-3. The player to your right is the dealer and has turned up the jack of diamonds. Another note, one rule I neglected to mention when describing how to play regular euchre is that if a player makes trump, they must have at least one card of the trump suit in their hand. Sounds like common sense, but I thought it warranted a mention just in case someone ever decided to ask. I said it because a dealer who turns up a jack, like in this scenario where the jack of diamonds is up, may want to pick up this jack when they only have the jack of hearts and no other diamonds. This is not allowed. The reason is that the jack of hearts is not considered a trump until diamonds are called trump. Anyway, the player to your right is the dealer and has turned up the jack of diamonds. You only have the queen of diamonds in your hand. It is possible that the dealer could have a good hand and only needs the right bower to go alone and win the game. You can thwart that plan right off the bat. You could order the dealer to pick up the jack. If the dealer has a great hand, you just spoiled his or her loner by ordering the dealer. They will only score 2 points to go up 9-3. You just extended the game for one more hand, and guess what? You get to deal next. The odds are not good for your team to win, but as Yogi Berra said, it ain't over till it's over. Now let's talk about playing tight and playing loose and what they mean. Playing tight means you are very particular in the cards you need in order to make trump. Some people require at least one jack in order to even make trump. They might have ace, king, queen of diamonds, and two other aces, which is definitely enough to make trump and get a point, but they won't make trump because they don't have a jack. Playing loose means that you are willing to make trump with a hand that is thin on trump. These players, if they think they can get two tricks, will count a trick being taken by their partner and call trump. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. You can't score a lot of points when you don't make trump. I have had experience playing with a partner who played very loose and someone who played very tight. These two players were my dad and my Uncle Bob. They often played together as partners. They were the perfect mix of taking risks and playing it safe. The photos you see now is a game between myself and Cousin Jerry playing against Dad and Uncle Bob. This game was over 12 years ago, so the specifics are unclear, but one thing is certain. There was at least one time during these games where Uncle Bob complained that he was playing against three opponents. Most likely because my dad played loose and called trump with a thin hand. Depending on how your game is going, you can go back and forth between playing tight and playing loose. You might want to start out playing tight. If luck swings your way, you can loosen up and take some risks later in the game. If you get off to a bad start, you might be forced to loosen up your play in order to try to get back into the game. As in most aspects in life, situation will dictate. And that'll bring this episode to a close. Maybe you can use some of these tips to help you play winning euchre. I certainly hope so. In the next episode, I'm going to show you how you can go on the offensive when you are the one making trump. Feel free to ask me any questions you may have. You can reach me on X at SteveActionFF or on Facebook. Just look me up and tag me in a question on Facebook or send me a DM on X. Don't get discouraged if I don't answer back right away. I do have a life outside of YouTube, Facebook, and X. I will make every effort to get back to you as soon as I can, though. Until next time, take care, everyone.